first want me after like an ad-lib. That's how it works. Lately I've been wreaking havoc with every verse. Before now they wouldn't have it, but now they learn. Yeah, always overlooked, never overtook. Never bought a book, got 'em on the hook. People coming back, demons from my past. Lethal leeching rats, acting for the cash. I was fed up, now my fed up. Not the federal heads up. I got next up, check I'm credible. I was down, you were not around. Now I'm ahead of you. Got my sound in the foreground. I feel incredible. I was fed up, now my fed up. Not the federal heads up. I got next up, check I'm credible. I was down, you were not around. Now I'm ahead of you. Got my sound in the foreground. I feel incredible. In my life I've been denied. Always stay inside just to hide my face. Found the light, now I'm in their eyes. Never rid of skies. I have found my place. In my life I've been denied. Always stay inside just to hide my face.
What is crack-a-lackin'? Cryptopocalyptics, welcome to yet another stream for Cryptopocalypse. Now, I'm your host CR, and we're gonna get into it. Alright, we're gonna get into it. It's turned up over here. It's definitely turned up, so we gotta simmer down on the sound a little bit. Whoop! There we go. Level check. Sound level check. Okay, let's bring it back to our OG soundtrack. Hit the like, guys, hit the like. What Trading Comparative Box, what's up? Good to see you, man. Yeah, welcome. Just a casual little hangout over here. It's a beautiful morning out here in Asia. Price is popping. We're about to go short. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we've been kind of going straight up rocket ship mode, and it's time to cool off the engines. So yeah, okay. Yeah, music. We can definitely bring the music down a bit. It should be okay. Putting in work, man. I love seeing that. 70 hours, that you went beast mode, man. That's a really good work ethic you got there, brother. Deserve a little break, so here it is. Let's drink some tea in your name. So today I wanted to bring your attention down. Box, you too. Like, this has been in the works for a little while, but in the description box of this video, I'm shilling this new exchange. Basically, I'm promoting this new exchange. I reached out to the team. I talked about them in the past briefly, but one of our members in our Discord brought it to my attention like a year ago, and I have been kind of testing the waters, watching how they operate in the markets, like what kind of technology they use and stuff like that. So Bitunix, guys, no KYC, no geo-blocking, license, BSA, whatever the license they got, basic stuff, right? So I think you're safe to go with the exchange. If you use my affiliate link, I will get a little kickback from your sign up, but I'm working on a little campaign where I can offer some bonus incentives for people to just get on there and get a little bit of money to get started, so you don't even have to kind of use your own. But a couple of $1,000s, anything happens, I'm fully responsible for the links that I share. And if the exchange goes down and you lose your shit up to $2,000, word is bond, I will compensate. But they're solid. I'm transferring over partially from Bybit to Bitunix. because the interface is the same, everything is the same as Bybit. API is amazing, very fast, and we're going to be integrating this exchange into the upcoming release for Poet version 2, which will be called Tactics, MarketSpy Tactics. Tactics trading terminal is just like Poet, but better all around, and I'm really looking forward to trading with you guys, because I have noticed that our Discord participation dropped significantly after all the regulations and stuff like that. And so Bitunix, people from the States have been trading on this exchange for a good while, and no problems. Now, you do have some limitations in terms of, like, you cannot withdraw millions of dollars worth of assets, but I don't think we're that stupid to be putting all our eggs in one basket and going all in with millions, let alone tens of millions. So there's like KYC that you can do that will allow you to play with bigger deposits and withdrawals. But overall, I've been putting money in and out of this exchange. Everything is smooth. I've been in touch with the team behind it. They're very progressive, good guys overall, and so give it a shot. Give it a shot. You have nothing to lose. It's and you can start trading Bitcoin and crypto using derivatives, basically, if you're into the exotics. This is why the name of this the title of this video is No More Barriers to Entry to Trade Exotic Instruments on Bitcoin. So use the link down below, please, and I'll see you on Bitunix. Now, there are a couple of YouTubers out there who have been sort of singing praises for this particular exchange, and after using it for a while, I understand why. It is seamless, it is fast, it is liquid. They have proof of reserves, Merkle key or whatever. Like, they have the whole thing is just like Bybit, just like any other exchange, except you don't got to deal with that KYC and geo restrictions. So no need for your ID, no need to be hiding your IP, no need for VPN. All you need is a set of balls, and trust me, you will not regret it. So give it a spin if you have been sidelined, locked out, because we have been posting nothing but bangers. This reversal here on Bitcoin, let's take a look at it right now, is something that we talked about in the video before the reversal. One day ahead, I said, you know what, I gotta drop a video for these guys for intraday, upcoming Monday, throughout the week. I said in that video specifically that next week, meaning since yesterday, we will be going up all week long, and I will show you why according to MarketSpy right now on this chart. And so we have been going up, but it ain't gonna stop here, and I'll explain in a bit. But I just wanted to do a little rewind, like by the way, check out the logo, live market analysis. What do you think of that? It's dope, I love it. But right there at the top, next to Bitcoin stats. So yeah, thanks. Trading comparisons. Yeah, man, really exciting stuff. JC, what is good, sir? It's been a long while, and I'm all over the place, but I remember. So we'll get back to that. But thank you for tuning in, and yeah, give that exchange a try. If I can get a couple of people to sign up, maybe I can negotiate with them to drop down fees. Fees are also better than Bybit and everything like that. And so if you want to trade without any fees, but you're going to face KYC issues, that's MEXC. MEXC has no fees. So I have a link for that too. But if you want to do it properly, Bitunix, like I said, it'll be integrated with the trading terminal. You're going to love this thing. And Mason, what is good? Welcome to the stream. It is good to see you, sir. And yeah, let's get back to the chart over here. You guys are overwhelming me with all the love coming through the chat. Thank you so much. We're waiting for the next update. Yes, sir, we are. Elijah Black is in the house. Good to see you. How you doing, boss? And thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in. We're all tight on time. The world we live in today is, one compromise after the other, and time is in the center of it. So anyways, like going sideways over here, right? You can see how we have been consolidating. I'm just going to like repeat back, what I said in the video update, and hopefully some of you guys profited from that and benefited from the directionality. As assessed, we said that we'll be going up. There's a relief rally coming starting from Monday throughout the week. And that's, we're on day 2 after the great promise. And, I love this. So I have been trading extremely small sizes. So I'm getting my 0.1%, 0.2% every other day. This is what I'm aiming for, because we generated enough profit to just not chase every other setup here. And it's part of my routine where I have seasonality in markets that are like outside of the whole scope of everybody else's participation. I have my own sort of like empty vacuums where I don't do anything, and this is one of them. So I get into the daily open, trade a little bit, like a 15-minute ATR distance, usually $200, $300 wide, and then I'm out, right? So just little by little, and the same has been happening with my take profit evaluation. I'm still evaluating. I've been up, down, and I'm kind of like, with all the crazy rules and the size restrictions, I'm kind of like hanging on to that 51K right now, and I got 2 more to go. So it's really challenging and very interesting with the futures, and I'm gonna do a couple of videos about that later once I have everything down and ready. Once I graduate from the evaluation, and I'm still part of it. It's a slow process. I thought I could do it fast, but according to my calculations, I'm looking at leverage and stuff like that, and the trailing drawdown at the end of the day, and the fact that I cannot hold a position into, roll it over to the next day. I have to close it. It means that I have to be at the charts precisely at the moment where there's an opportunity, so I could just like snipe entries and exits, and that's taken some time. So I've had 2 liquidations already. I always say stay hydrated, never liquidated, but I lost $200, and I bought my 3rd take profit account just now. And so that's what I'm working with, but it's been very slow. I decided to take my time with it. It is a marathon with those restrictions in place. But anyways, back to Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this, right? So consolidation here, as I said in my video, a little bit of logic here helps greatly, regardless of what the system is showing us. So this EMA ribbon staying above and hovering just slightly, its actual price is average price, which means it is more accurate than what the price is doing, because price can be oversold, which prompts traders to buy into it, or price can be overbought, but according to the average of the price, it is not. So this lag that we're seeing on these indicators, that's causing us to are we live on Kick? I'm gonna kick out of here. So anyways, we're and that's I have been using this to my advantage to see if we're seeing signs of exhaustion or not. And here we did see signs of exhaustion where sellers were not able to push this for this whole consolidation. I skipped it ever since this candle reversal on the daily open. I said, this is way too fast. I posted about that in the platoon, and I said, I'm just gonna like sit it all out. But on Sunday, I did post an analysis that kind of foreshadowed what's to come, and like this is the result. So my theory was that this trend line is a not to be disrespectful to retail traders, because I am one at this stage of my life. Since I'm here at home participating in this madness here, this makes me retail automatically. But anyways, this trend line is something that people would draw as a sort of like a gauge to see if we're going to continue falling or not. And based on what we saw here, to me it appeared like it was a trap, because I never rely on these trend lines, and I think that they're very accurate at being wrong. And so when I see a breakdown and I see signs of weakness from sellers, there's no hunger here. Plus, the most important thing to me during the weekend chart analysis that I posted was this compression here. So away from the huge blocks into an ever thinning line over here like this. So it was just a matter of time before price actually popped out of here, and the reversal would have been the go-to strategy here. Maybe I was expecting that they would maybe like sweep the lows over here and just do something like this, but regardless, it was up. So, and this also lines up with the fact that whenever you have a trade set up and you're assessing it and you're trading it, you're kind of looking to get into a trade and you're expecting that you will be underwater almost immediately, and that's perfectly fine. It's normal. You have to hold with the volatility, and this is why size is important, so that you don't freak out. And so price needs to travel a good distance, like a couple of $1,000 for me to make 1% on like 1x. 1x, let me remind you, is 100% of your account, which is crazy size. So let alone like using leverage. So anyways, but when you have something like this, right, you're just looking at the fact that we're posting relative, again, this is reiterating, bring it back to the video, we're having relative higher lows on a setup like this, and this is just an indication of seller exhaustion. No huge wicks, but maybe on higher time frames, this whole thing is a wick. So placing maybe a stop loss over here, getting in over here, and attempting to trade a breakout would have been profitable for anyone watching this. And so yeah, compression, squeeze, pimple goes pop, price flies up, squirts all over the place, goes up to the trend line, traps all the retarded bears here who are full of opinion and don't have a system, and they're like, I'm sure of it. Sure of what? You need a system that flips the script, and this is what MarketSpy is good at. So while some of you guys might look at it and say like, oh, it's all about timing and the duration of each one of these trades, and so if you're looking at something like this and you're just holding on days on end, it's probably not a good strategy to go by. So let me just check Kick real quick and see if we're if I'm okay on Kick, because I do want to be on Kick. I don't want to be kicked out of Kick. Where is it? I can't even open it. Anyways, so what else? Yeah, so we go back above this baseline, or the trend line here rather, and we hold above it. We retest it, bounce up, and just like pump right through this. And so now we're at I think this would be an exhaustion point for Bitcoin at this stage, because 2 consecutive days of nonstop pumping calls for a little cooling of the jet, right? You're gonna have to assume that there's gonna be like a little bit of chop here and maybe less clean price action later on. And this is one of the issues with a mindset that sort of waits for a confirmation. So on the one hand, confirmations are good, but if you wait too long, you might be late. And looking at a long from here, basically, now that we have been rising this aggressively, looking for a long here is kind of foolish. Forgive me for saying so, if you're still biased, because this is what probably beginners would do when they see like, oh, price is now decisively going up, and so they would probably long here. Now the market makers know this, big players know this, and so selling after a bit of a consolidation here is expected, and so we're going to be looking for a short intraday going into tomorrow. Today though, I think that we consolidate, lots of volatility. It's a very active day of the week. We're Tuesday going into Wednesday, right? And so this is going to be up, down, lots of chop, middle of the way. If you're not in it from Monday, you kind of snooze, you lose, and then you're in the middle of the week where it's deciding, do I continue, do I retreat a little bit? And so we need to switch over to higher time frames because we're now on the weekly. Our chart vision goggles need to be adjusted to weekly time frame because we know what is happening here on the day. And so I already put in a little trade here, and you can't even see the candle that I traded. It's so minuscule on the 5 minute, just like this wick right here. And developing CPRs over here. So we're going to be chopping here with bias to the upside still throughout the week, right? We already talked about that. And let's just switch this over to weekly and show you the incredible Aster. Aster is another beautiful coin. If you're into altcoins, this is what I've been focusing on. So I think I'm going to trade this today. It's very thin. Aster is going to post an incredible explosive move, likely to the upside over here. So if you're watching Aster, guys, pay attention here. You have extreme compression happening, right? So you can go down up to here, maybe go down a little bit, but ultimately this is going to pop, and I think it's going to pop to the upside. So pay attention to that. So the other thing is, back to Bitcoin, sorry. Switch this over to weekly right now. So we're just adjusting CPR, everything else is intact. But here's the weekly, and you can see that the green ceiling is literally right there. And we're gonna tap it. We're gonna tap it regardless. You're gonna see price rising up all the way up to this level. But look at the width of this compression, right? Let me switch this over to daily. Now this guy is floating over here. Retrieval happened here from the bottom. Okay, so no problem, but we have momentum that's building up over here, and we're gonna tap this, but are we actually going to break above it? So we were supposed to be going up from here slowly, not like what we saw on Monday and Tuesday. And so this might exhaust price, but for the time being, this is going to tap the green level and overshoot it a little bit. Okay, this is precisely exactly what is going to happen, and you're going to see that in the coming hours, either today or tomorrow, as price consolidates here. But it's going to break this level, and if it does reverse from here, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. The least, what we have to worry about is maybe it does something like this, and this will be a critical point to see if it'll actually hold, because you're gonna have this moving average over here, and price will be below it again. So it's gonna be a very choppy environment if they don't support price action from this point forward and start aggressively buying. And like I said, this can exhaust because it's been a bit too. The acceleration here, the torque that we saw was a little too much. And that's weekly, right? So compression here, but it is still a lower high so far, right? So in order for the bull to resume, 18.5 level needs to, we need to have a consolidation below that level, and then an aggressive push above that level to get to all-time highs. That is a possibility, of course. But it is overall, currently as it stands, if we are not looking at DSR, yeah, just classic stuff, right? So we have this, and we have an unknown higher high or lower high. Depends on how the weekly breakout is going to play out on the CPR level. But over here we have a lower low, and then a higher low. And so this tells me that there could be potentially what I would call a lower high, but at the same time it'll be higher than this high. So definitely a consolidation phase where you can see something like this, but it'll fizzle out. So this is where 18.5, we need to see what is there. Is there any resistance that's forming while we're looking at these naked charts? It's all fun and games until somebody gets punched in their portfolio with a CPR level that is beyond weekly. So also the start of a new month, we're gonna get a new monthly open, the yellow line. And if we continue to stay above that yellow open, then for the rest of the month, we will be rallying higher and higher and higher until we reach a new all-time high, ladies and gentlemen. And at that point, the bear market is canceled. But this current formation, this current consolidation right now is inconclusive, right? But it is more bearish overall as we have been climbing up and making our way up, like from the 16K call all the way up to the 24 level or whatever it was. It's been nothing but up. So we have to be ready for New Year surprises. 2026 might be bearish, even though right now it's never going to be that easy where you have a straight candle down and you're like, yeah, well, this is it. But this is what the bear market, the beginning of a bear market would look like, where it's sort of consolidating at the very top. And you have to understand, at the size of this flag that I'm looking at, we're looking at least 140K Bitcoin potential if this plays out. If they pick up on this and they decide to, go fully in on this on these patterns. And so let's bring this to the monthly chart, and we're like right at the end of it. There's only a couple of days left until the end of the month. There's actually 1 day left, and we're gonna print a new one. So right now we bounced off of the monthly daily open. So 17K, which I called for, was right here. And I said we're not gonna see that level for a while, but we came too close to the sun. We came too close to the sun, but still, it is, we bounced away from a significant monthly level, and that bounce indicates, it's telling us that we're going to continue rising and post a relative higher high to this local high over here. That's for sure. You can count on it. Now, actual entries and how you maneuver and get yourself into these sort of trade setups will require you to be intraday. If you're spot buying, you're probably holding anyways, like you haven't sold yet, I'm pretty sure. If you're trading spot as if it was like a daily thing, buy and sell, then you're skipping all these setups and you're waiting for a greater discount. So there's no talking to you. But for your intraday players, directionality and the hunger that comes from spot positions gives us derivative traders a little bit of an edge here, where we can start trading in the direction that MarketSpy is printing for us. And so over here we have a high probability level at 116 exactly right here, 115.9 with a 935. 115.935 is a high prob level, and this is where we're likely going to face a little bit of resistance, maybe come down. So where the candle is now to where the candle will be in the next couple of hours or days, I don't know, 16, this is where you can get away with maybe a little short play setup. But remember, price has to be below daily open, below the yellow line. MSX has to be looking exhausted, tired, bearish, and you have to have multiple confirmations before you can actually open a short. Currently on the day, you're looking bullish slash compression E a little bit. You're going to compress a little bit over here, and this is indicated by the compression on the average price too. So this is going to reflect in the actual price, because the average is just so compressed right now, meaning you're gonna chop through it a few times before you can have something as sustained as what we saw over here, for example. Anyways, what else do I have for you over here? So that's monthly, and then yearly, right? We also looked at that. We're gonna switch over to a weekly time frame, but do yearly over here. So yearly time frame, we're like this close to we're in the breakout territory. So basically, like, this whole thick ceiling over here is going to make things easier, right? You can do something like this. So, this trend line here is using the close of the price over here, ignoring all the wicks. And close is more important than the wicks, because wicks are, I don't know why. Like, when people draw their trend lines, it's usually wick to wick. And sometimes, you can argue that it works. But over here, if we do have a breakout, we have a very good potential here overall for price to. So you can see that bullish triangle that I'm talking about here. Bullish or bearish, I'm not really sure, but it looks to me like the intent here is to maybe clear all these comfortable shorts that have been sitting here at an all-time high and also at the previous 118. So once we clear this level, 118.5, I think momentum here will be built up to the point where it will be unstoppable and we will have a breakout. And this can go on for the next, this extends to 14 bars. So there's 98 days of a potential BS going sideways, up, down. And so basically nothing will change, but we should be ready for the new year, because upon every breakout, take profit commences, and then we start heading down aggressively. So far, it's good to be bearish anyways. It's not good to be trading like a bear. But it's good to be bearish, meaning even on smaller time frames, if you're down to like 30 seconds, 1 minute, you should always feel like, man, if I don't take profit now, somebody else will, and I might be late to the party, and it'll reverse and it'll be too late for me. So anyways, pay attention to the weekly chart setup over here. We're at the start of the week, and this whole week, like in my video, I'm reminding you once again, I suspect that we will be trending up anyways. Now, even though those few candles last few days were quite aggressive, and on lower time frames it looks unsustainable, you are looking at a weekly time frame here, and this candle, ATR wise, look at the delta, minus 298 over here, 3%. So what this means is it hasn't even started yet. So if the intent is real here, and if this continues, then you can see at least double in what price achieved so far in the last few days in the next week or so. So it'll double from here, which is another $7,000 potential. However, if it fizzles out and goes back down, it can go to like 113, 114, which I think would be a potential buying opportunity. But if it fizzles out and then cannot hold that level and goes lower, then once again we'll start following it towards this this ribbon over here, because this ribbon, we need to touch this ribbon sooner or later. We saw the retest on the monthly where price came all the way down to the open line, which is this PO over here, pivot open. I don't even call it daily open because you're all in different time zones, but pivot open is what decides what the mean reversion is going to look like. And pivot open is calling price towards this level at 93, which I think would be a great buying opportunity, at least for me. My bids are definitely, I get excited when I look at this, but how we're gonna get there is anyone's guess. But yeah, so bam, great performance from MarketSpy, again catching this candle directionally. Who would have thunk, right? You would think that this is going to continue falling, but good thing we have those video assessments to help you out on your journey. And so this guy is floating about this. If it starts falling, there's like developing CPR, and developing CPR is basically projecting what your likely CPR is going to be upon its close into next week. And so currently things are looking like it's going to consolidate. Like I can see how price is going to keep creeping over here, maybe up to 115, 116. Like this is going to be like sideways, and usually what tends to happen is you have this and then right, something like that. So this is exactly what I'm watching for something like this. But if it doesn't happen, if there is no profit taking here, then that just means people are now willing to sell, and we'll be looking for more longs next week as well. But yeah. So how cool is that? You can just flip-flop, change your mind. When the indicator flips the script, you just kind of go with it. Don't push your narrative. You just go with it. And that's a really beautiful thing. So what am I doing right now? I have my bid orders stacked below this price, and you'll be able to do this with Bitunix if you're in the States. If you're in Canada, that's your go-to exchange right now. I'm telling you, there's none of that decentralized exchange nonsense. People are losing money. It's really tough. Nobody knows how to freaking use those things. They're complicated. They're built by geeks, not professional. Like these guys are ex-Forex, so they come with like systems and backgrounds that you can rely on. But just like Bybit, right? Ben Zhao used to be a Forex trader, was working for a desk as well, and so they're familiar with how all of this works. And Bitunix is like the carbon copy of what Bybit is. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like when it comes to China, for example, I'm like into all things electric vehicles right now, right? Like electric cars, bikes, scooters, you name it, mono wheels. Like I'm into that stuff. I've got my helmet and everything, like to the point where I'm thinking I'm gonna open a second channel where I'm just gonna like ride around and talk about my hobbies, right? Trading Bitcoin on the go. I'm just getting eyes on the road. But when it comes to like China, you have one company that is supposedly selling you a product, but then it's so genius because that company has 5 other companies under it, but they distance away from it. They make it look like they're competing with one another, but it's really one guy selling his tech. So like motors and like parts and frames. It's just one factory that's welding and building the whole thing themselves. But they're also using different brand names. And so you have people coming out on YouTube and stuff, and they're talking about, you know, like, for example, I don't know if you guys are into it, but action cameras, that's kind of part of the whole riding experience if you're into motorbikes and stuff. But like action cameras, you have your DJI, which is a huge company. By the way, I discovered DJI when there was like, the future was bleak, and they came out with their first drone. And I looked at it, I said, this is the future, but I had no way to invest into DJI. And that's one of my biggest regrets ever, because I had like a vision in my dreams, thinking about this company, thinking how it's going to take over the world. I just knew it. But anyways, at that time, right, so you have DJI, and then you have Insta360, which is another camera brand, right? I'm just gonna get into like this thing. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, these are just basically action cameras like GoPros. Everybody knows what a GoPro is, but those are like the Chinese variants. Anyways, two different companies, but like looking at the tech, it might as well be the same company. You just don't know about it. They're not telling you. But imagine one company sells the tech, different brands, and we're a bunch of idiots running around comparing like what's better, what's worse. And like, is this better? Is that? But the guy who gets our money is one entity, right? One company. So these exchanges, MEXC, Bybit, OKX, Bitunix, it could be one guy just diversifying, you know, diversifying, like de-risking a little bit as a business. So, and you know, you can do that at scale if you have the means. So stuff like that. But anyways, this one doesn't have KYC, and it's so important. When this whole conversation about regulations was at the center of it all, right? When people were like cheering for, you know, ETFs and BlackRock and stuff, like I felt very, very uncomfortable, because my main thing is I have a history with the corporate world, and I distanced myself as far away as I could from all normal systems. Now I have, you know, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have nothing weird going on, but it's just that the philosophy, the things that I have kind of experienced in my life, it contradict to what they're trying to impose on me with like properties, with taxes, with banking, with freaking insurances, everything, right? Everybody just wants something from you. They want your money basically. And crypto was like sort of the Wild West of finance, where you could just flip a bird at these corps and say, you know, I don't need to follow your, you know, and that's what digital currency was all about. It was about creating yours. But all of a sudden, suddenly, because of price appreciation, it was like everyone became a little bitch, and they're like, you know, protect me from my own investments. And you gave access collectively to all these institutions that are now in control of what used to or could have belonged to people, but then they're people too, and so it's just that they don't have individual sovereignty. They work for like this all-consuming black hole that just like sucks everything in, and you get nothing in the end, and they own everything, and so that sucks. But anyway, so big ups to Bitunix for not participating in the nonsense. They have their basic licenses down. They have a license in Canada, in the States, but they're not like high level licenses where they're like an exception to all the others. But they can onboard US citizens, Canadian citizens, and all the prohibited countries out there with certain limits in place in terms of like how much you can trade and stuff like that. And so, but they remind me of what the space used to be like, and so this is why I'm going to support them and use them personally in the future and integrate them into the trading terminal. And remember, this whole trading terminal MarketSpy business I have built for myself as a trader because I rely on these tools, and it is secondary to my primary demands and functions that I put this up to share with others as well. And so once I refine the trading terminal, I'll do the same. I'll put it out there, and that should be good. But you can have residual income from becoming a broker, for example. But if you're providing excellent tools to people, then why not? You know, it's a small price to pay. Actually, the trader, the end user, pays nothing. That was the case with Bybit when we went completely free, and then we said, you know, just use our referral link, and then you can get access to to like market scans like this, and see exactly where you are using our tools. MarketSpy Armageddon. Once again, pyramids at the bottom call for a sharp reversals. Pyramids at the top call for sharp pull downs, pullbacks. And so over here, another beautiful Max 7, couple of failed X's where it tells you like stay away from this candle. Basically, we have a couple of pyramids over here calling for a reversal. And overall, the baseline held. There's no argument about that. And if you were to treat this as a basic sort of reclaim, retest, where these prongs, these teeth, the choo-choo train over here, the tracks are missing over here, the diamonds are missing. And when you're close to those diamonds, those are great entries. So if you were to get in on this candle, it's a profitable trade setup, especially if you're trading intraday. If you were to get in on this candle over here, on the red candle, there's another little reversal over here. It's silly. It's silly how minuscule, but how accurate your results can be if you're not holding on to everything at once. Trading small size allows you to just hold it and wait for it and get one of these pops and exit on one of these beautiful candles, and whatever, it goes up, who cares, right? It doesn't really matter. But yeah, this is what you're looking for. Now we have the pinch over here. Guys, if you're longing over here, like I said, be very careful. We have a pinch happening over here, so we're gonna have a sharp pullback today. I cannot tell you whether you should be buying into it or you should be avoiding it, but definitely gonna have a little bit of a pullback situation happening today, 100,000%. I don't know how you're gonna trade it. Me, I usually run my market maker, or I put a small sample size in and see if I can get away with it. But what I short now, I don't know, we're too close to resistance over here, so I like to be near our levels, near MarketSpy levels, to actually see what can happen. So on Armageddon here we have this thing, which is the pivot display mode is HC mode. This is my own theory implemented into these pivot levels, and these pivot levels are much more accurate than your classical traditional pivot levels, as they measure half candle move based on volatility, and they're much more precise. Whereas if you were to put your normal pivot level, which would look like this, so if you go with classic indicator setup as you would get from anywhere else, it's gonna change it. Did it change it? I don't know. Basically, it's not as accurate. I'll show you some examples, especially on higher time frames. Price tends to just kind of come down to our pivot level. In this case, it's pretty much equal, more or less. But pivot is where you want to be for a potential buying opportunity or breakout opportunity or selling opportunity. And these actual levels, the trick here is that the actual support or resistance levels, depending on the compression of price, is where you want to be exiting these reversal points away from the pivot. So this is why daily open is so important to us, because we want to know, are we opening bearish or bullish? Today, it's been a couple of hours. I'm also looking I put in a little trade up, but we're looking for one more. This candle is developing. I'm waiting to see where. So it's right at the. So this is a great distance over here. Look how spread out everything is. Here's your BC, which is a very good level for a reversal away from here. So this is quite a big distance. So we can wait for this to maybe crash down below here, consolidate, go sideways, but then we can actually short and bring it down to 113 or so based on this level over here. Or we can wait for this candle. Now remember, you have 10 hours. There's no panicking. You can go to sleep, wake up, and you'll be right at half. And half is where the next opportunity. This is where New York wakes up. This is where all the big bad wolves in their suits start to deploy their capital. They're either trying to get rid of their positions that they have built by watching my videos over the weekend, or they're going to start buying out of FOMO. And it's not FOMO, it's just that strong bullish cases where they're this is good strength, we can attract more capital. Or it could be a short squeeze happening and there's literally no participation whatsoever. Although I'm seeing mixed signals in the order books where I have $1 million positions that are being bought and sold every few hours, and so these are 5 minute, 1 minute time frame traders that I'm watching that are doing this. Degens, in other words, trying to scalp the market, and so it's a big size. It kind of stabilizes price a little bit. So there's not much participation over here. Was it a short squeeze? We don't know, but because how spread out the CPR is over here, it would be an easy sort of buy if price comes down here, and I think it will. And so we'll attempt to maybe make a purchase, or once it closes down below here, we'll attempt to short it down to this level. It all depends how it performs, what it does over here. It's been only 1 hour since the open, so 2 hours actually. But yeah, this guy is floating, and as long as it's floating, I'm basically in the buy mode. As long as this guy goes below price and I see dead momentum, I'm in the sell zone. Right now we're in the buy zone, so any pullback here, instead of me trying to short it, because you don't know where they will step in, but algorithmically speaking, it should be at BC level over here, at the very least. And remember, it's inverted, so the top center is here, BC is here, and right over here, for example, during this compression, BC was at the top. Where was it? Yeah, BC was at the top and we're at the bottom, and this inversion just tells us that there's a reversal coming potentially, and so we did have a reversal, and off we went. So beautiful price action overall, and let's just wait and see if we can get a trade in here. So guys, do you have any questions? Where the chat at, man? What's happening with you guys? Go sign up for Bitunix, man. Start trading. Mason just bought Profiler recently. Can you start talking about it a little bit? Profiler trading comparisons would probably do a better job at Profiler, since I don't really use it too much. I rely on these levels more specifically. Profiler is there are some, you have to understand that there are some people, the reason why we have it up is because there are some people that swear by it, and they use the order book and the profiler. Okay, and if you're one of those people and you know exactly what you're doing and how to use those things, then it's probably the best profiler, market profile indicator that you can have. But that is if you're married to it. I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm not a fan. This is enough. Okay, this is enough. We're getting exceptional results using these levels over here. And so profiler is kind of not my forte, at this stage of my trading journey. So if you ask Box or visit his channel, which is called MarketSpy Profiler, I believe there are great videos that explain what it is that you need to be looking at. And I think those videos kind of summarize all that you need to know about what profiler can do for you. And it is for more advanced people who have been in the market and are stuck with like legacy versions of market profile, which may or may not work, but our visual representation of what to look for in our version just makes things a little bit more easier for you as a trader to trade market profile. So yeah, I recommend you watch those videos, and that's it, because over here we have like 90% hit rate, if not more, in terms of like directionally knowing where price is going, and then the rest of it is just execution and your own personal sort of style of trading. But if it's going up, if you go to my channel and you're like, okay, there's a video analysis. I do videos every once in a while, only when I can give you some sort of edge, some alpha, and say like, yeah, gear up, right? It's not every day. Maybe I should do I don't know. Anyways, and then if you know directionality, it's like, you just have to figure out how to time and perfect your entries and exits. That's it. Seriously. And this goes for all of you guys watching or who are part of the Discord. There's nothing else that I can give you. It's all the rest. You have to like kind of develop that within yourself. But directionality, there's a lot of people, they just call it, right? Up, down, up, down. But yeah, you're gonna get more rate cuts, and rate cuts are gonna be like bad news for price advancement. So next time they announce like this could be rallying up to that next point. Next time they announce a rate cut, it is gonna be a price cut. You're gonna get a haircut on Bitcoin, Kim Jong-un haircut style, like, right? And I don't understand why people are saying, historically, rate hikes lead to higher returns. Inversely to everyone's belief, and I don't know who everyone. It seems to be like a general consensus that those guys are your friends, and what they do is good for Bitcoin. Is going to be bad. It's going to be bad. You can do a historical backtest to see how markets have performed during those times, especially Bitcoin. But the bad news, hiking rates, that always leads to price appreciation most of the time. Otherwise, what's good with you guys? What have you been up to? Yeah, I got my ladder good to go. Spread out. It's a good feeling, it's a good feeling. You wake up, you look at at price, you just got to be quick with it. Look at this. Do you see this? As soon as it closed over here and went down, I looked at momentum and said, yeah, it's probably gonna start moving towards this higher low. But I exited just on time. This candle spilled. I looked at the ATR, I'm like, this candle is bigger than all of these candles combined in the last 30 periods. What am I holding for? And so when you have something like that, you have to assume that it's not sustainable, even on lower time frames. And I got my couple of $100 in the morning. You know, it's beautiful. You know, it's not thousands or anything like that, but hey, it's a good start for the day. And then we're just watching and see if we can get a bigger trade in. And right now, all I'm seeing is chop, and I'm not catching knives. I could have been sitting here like bidding these levels, but I'm not. That's just not the way I do things. And so midway, half through the session, you know, you come back, maybe you'll have a better opportunity like around here. Look how much space we have here for price to dance around and do its thing without me being involved, right? But if I see it like coming up to this level, for example, I have my Ranger rails, which are phenomenal, set at 12 hours. 12 hours just gives me like exactly. So what this does for me, like strategically, here's your half. Here's your Ranger rail. Here's your actual CPR ceiling, which is not guaranteed because the Ranger rail is there. So price can do is it can tap into this thing, go down, come back up to half, and from this point, we're gonna print like a new rail over here, either higher or lower, and that will tell us if we continue to go. But this is like look how much you can capture here. You know this is gonna happen. You're looking at nothing right now. There shouldn't be any FOMO. There shouldn't be any chasing involved. There shouldn't be any overthinking. Look how much potential you can have here. And so I confine price within these Ranger blocks, which help me sort of deal with volatility a bit better. And so whenever we're near those levels, I can either go short, high leverage, and just exit within a couple of $100 distance, or I can do the same over here and buy into it since there's confluence of central pivot level as well as the Ranger rails. And plus the little guy over here that we can maybe sweep later on in the day. Who knows, right? Yeah, like something like this, right? Just a little bit of confluence, a little bit of confidence inducing price action. And so yeah, right now I'm tempted to go long over here, but this candle is also in excess of like all the other ones over here. So I don't know, is it sustainable? And so when I don't know, I just sit it out. I just wait and wait for a reset. MSX is in progress. It's building up into a strong upward momentum right now. And you know, we have our super RSI there in the middle in the not a bearish nor bullish lane. It's just kind of like right in the middle there. So it's choppy. Whenever you think price is going up, it's actually going to reverse and go down. Whenever you think it's going to go down, it's actually going to reverse because you're in the chop zone indicated by MSX over there. So out of all of this, you need 1 or 2 trades, and that's it. Every day, right? You try to like, is it worth it? Is it worth it to spend this much time to try to like see if you can get a little trade there for a couple of $100, maybe $1,000? I think so. gives you plenty of time to do your thing. You can work, you can work out, you can go and ride your bike or whatever, spend time with your family. But every once in a while, just open your trading view on your phone and see where you are relative to what MarketSpy is showing you. And once you're like near or close anything that looks remotely as a potential trade opportunity there, just go back to your computer, pop open the lid on your laptop and then measure some size, your stop loss. But don't put a trade in yet, sit back, think twice about it and be like, am I ready for this? Like, am I wrong? Is it too early? Am I too desperate here? No? Well, then go ahead and trade. I'm always honest with myself, and my honesty lies in this. I don't know what the market is going to do. I don't know if my reactions are fast or slow for any of this, and I don't need to know that. All I need to know is I need to allow the market to do its thing, to give it space, to dance around, to breathe. And when it tells me that, hey, CR, I'm done, I'm tired, I've been chopping around, and like, imagine how many lives laid to rest, like portfolios laid to rest over here, right? In this dance of craziness. And then that's when I come in and I say, okay, I see that, you're compressing, you're depressing, and you're trying to pop, but you don't have any more downside potential, buddy. And so that's when I was like, all right, take a few of my dollars and see if you can like double that for me. And that's what I do. And the risk to reward in my case is always horrible. I never chase like 5R or 10R because that's very rare, and I don't, I have 2 or 3 swings throughout the year, and I have not gotten into a short position yet to where I can call it a swing. And so intraday, this is different. Intraday, I need to just study the market. It's like a teacher, and I'm sitting here and I'm listening to what it's showing me. And I know exactly what it's showing me. I'm not trying to make it up in my mind. I was like, okay, I see how you're behaving right now. And you get to know your teacher, and then it kind of, you already know that he's about to teach you a lesson. Now, hopefully it's a good lesson, but it's not hands-on, it's all theoretical until you press that buy or sell button. But that's where the homework part is where you spend time one-on-one. This is why I sit in my environment here that I created with my tea, trying to figure out who I am, simply. Because as I look at this market, who I am today, not in general, like set in stone, ice cold who I am, but like, who am I in this moment, right? What am I feeling? Did I get a kiss on my cheek in the morning? Am I feeling great? Or did I wake up all grumpy and couldn't get some rest because of my neighbor's dog or something? Is there anything else on my mind besides emptiness? If there is, I should probably stay away because, I don't want to make any decisions that I might regret later on. And I have regretted many decisions in trading in the past, where sometimes just kind of like, F it. And that F it mode is very irresponsible, very naughty. You don't want to do that. So instead, doing nothing is kind of like the supreme. Look at that. Look at that price coming down. Do you need that stress? But look how much space we got. We got 10 hours to half and another 10 hours. And all we need is a clean 5 to 15 minute setup to get away with a profitable trade. How awesome is that? Are you able to find a good profitable trade within a 24-hour window based on what MSX, DSR, and Armageddon are showing you? I think so. Are you kidding me? Of course you can. Of course you will. Just gotta set the alerts. So the next version, tell me if I should publish it, because you guys told me I should publish DSR, and I did. And hopefully you're enjoying the alert system there. But like you're gonna get all this. This is easy. Like one button, one alert, it takes care of everything. What's the most quoted trader out there who made millions back in the day? Jesse Livermore, right? Guy lost everything and killed himself, yet he remains the best-selling author ever because he preaches trading with small size. I think, guys, honestly, right? For those of you looking to take this to the next level, I think forget about trading and markets altogether. Pick up the best from what works. Apply it. Trade for fun is a video game with very little capital for the next 5 years. Learn the market inside and out. And this is if you're young. If you're old, I cannot holler at you. It's too late for us. But like if you're young, right? Don't do this on your own. Lean not on your own understanding. Use the best tools, the best strategies. Learn. Take advice from Jesse Livermore if you must, but develop your strategies and tactics and your style. Like, you know how you go to those ride outs on bikes and everybody is stunting and they do their own stunts, they got their own style, or you go to like dance parties and everybody's got their own pop or break going on, and you know, stuff like that. Develop that and go to these, actually apply for jobs as a trader. Anywhere, go to Hong Kong, you know, travel. 100% you're gonna find a job in Hong Kong. Or like South Korea, learn a language or two. And just like, if you're young, like really stop trading to become like rich and own a Lambo. Forget all that. Build trust so that people can give you their millions of dollars that you can like whatever it is that you traded with your $100 for the last 5 years, they'll say, how he treated those $100 is how he's gonna treat my 100 million. I'm telling you. And then you're good. But for the rest of you guys, you know, families, jobs, if you're in a position like me, if you're just starting out, just question everything, even yourself. And next time you read Jesse Livermore, understand that the guy offed himself tragically. Got depressed, started abusing, and just like lost everything. And you know, after you're right, you sound right. You're talking about size, this and that. But if you take any of his applications to your own trading methods, he never did what I do, where I show you specific ways to optimize how you trade. It's just general kind of like use small size. But then what's the point? Because you're now spending 8 hours a day trading $100, and so if your goal is to get rich from that's not realistic. You can get a part-time job and make way more money doing that. But if you have an end goal where you're going to graduate this and you're gonna help people, and maybe you can learn this craft, and then you can go into we live in a brand new world where YouTube is kind of like we are on YouTube right now. Look at this. You can like become one of those gurus and start pushing your experience and create value in this way and help beginners, because everybody they got to start somewhere. And here you come and you say, guys, the $100 that I started with, I never lost it. Did I make millions? No. But I'll show you some fucking, excuse my language, jungle survival skills. And this is how you do it. And then bang, you're a valuable member of the trading community. Not just some random shill who's clueless, but you're actually passionate about markets, and now you can turn this into a business. There's so many avenues. Oh man. But anyways, for now they'll focus on what matters, which is a price decline over here. This is gonna be a crazy consolidation throughout the day. So I think I'm fading whatever goes up. We'll see. I think I'm fading it once I see these bubbles over here disappear, the heat line. Once the market starts cooling off. The problem with these is that if it's a super aggressive candle, I'm buying into it. That's not the kind of cool off that we want to see. What we want to see is maybe price attempting to go up, down, attempting to go up, down, and this is like following in. And somewhere over here, these bubbles start to disappear. This thing starts to decline, and you're like, bam, short, bring it down low to about over here, exit, right? So capture this moment right here. So we need to wait for that to develop, because that is going to be a guaranteed setup, guaranteed. But right now, going long from here or short from here is noobish. You're at the daily open. You need to watch that level. Are we floating? Are we gonna start going up? No, we're floating for now. But the ribbon is over here. The pinch is happening on lower time frames. It's going to cause price to come down over here. And by the time it comes down, it'll be so aggressive and fast rebound, and then go down again, and then boom, start going up. And then this is where you want to be. You want to wait. You want to wait for that. Yes, sir. Good morning. Good day. Buenos dias, el martes. This is 11:17 a.m. here. It's way past morning, but we're good. We're chugging along. Running low on that tea, which means we're gonna wrap it up soon, guys. I don't know where everybody else is. The market has been very consistent. And so we should have more people talking about it. I mean, what is there to talk about? I understand at the same time. There's nothing to talk about. Speaking of coins, El Morte, Apex has been popping, right? But then it's gonna get faded. Probably was faded already. And then you have this guy, Aster. And Aster is See, we started the stream. It's already up by a little bit. Yeah. Decent, but like very choppy. Very choppy. See, the overall trend is like down, but I would imagine you're here in the trenches trading like the chop that you can't even see on this chart. It's like you're in between the alleyways, in between the candles, in between the grinder. Like right here, man. But yeah, so far so good. It's looking like it's gonna keep going up today. So Aster is my coin for the day. I might actually have to skip Bitcoin consolidation because Bitcoin is gonna cool off, right? It's been pumping aggressively, and now the altcoins are gonna follow. Me Too movement is about to start with altcoins over here. So let's get it. XPL and IMX, as well as Hype. You gotta. Where's my thing? I gotta write those down. Gotta write them down. What's IMX? IMX sounds interesting. Anything MX, I'm like biased towards it. How you guys feel about Mantle? The unofficial, official Bybit token. I kind of mentioned it already. A few times, like in the last 2 years, you know, Mantle was kind of my focus. And I think it's going to be used for, actually, no, it can be used now for a spot discount. I think if you hold some Mantle, you're going to get like some fee discounts. Anywho, trading comparison. Yeah, it is cringe. It is cringe. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like, cause you know they don't have the balls to step forward and say, you know what, we're making Mantle rebrand into the official like BB. So they had BB Soul and all of that. I mean, it's not Bybit's not an altcoin kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? But I can see what like the CEO is hanging on to it so hard. Mantle this, mantle that. You know, China. He's pushing it to the Chinese community. So I think there's gonna be like something's brewing over there. I don't know what it is, but I think it's gonna be a very unexpected pop one of these days. And you know, once again, their latest exchange offering, which is like buy rail. I don't know about all that. I logged in from the States. I was traveling, and it said your geographical location is not supported. We're not supporting certain regions. So I was like, Bitunix. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're desperate, and I feel like it's a marriage thing between Bybit and Mantle. I don't know what the history between them is, but I can see how there's like a little bit of ego involved. There's gonna be like some defensive bid walls, you know, at play, and you know, if they're putting their name and their face on it, then it's kind of like Aster. You're not gonna make CZ look like Aster, are you? Of course not. So they're gonna keep it floating. They're gonna keep it propped. We'll see. I just got back from Vietnam like not long ago. I got my hold on a second. no, never mind. I was gonna go get my hat with the little CR star over there, like custom made in Vietnam. Bambooed out, but late October. Yeah, maybe. El Morte. You were inviting me to, where was it? In Singapore, I think, the other time. But I was busy, so maybe this time I'll make it out there. So we'll see, yeah. We will see. But you know, the question is, are they gonna have tea over there? That's my issue with those gals. I don't care about your champagne. I need some tea. Nothing wrong with champagne. I'm just saying, tea's tea in the end of the day. Yeah. So yeah, my main priority right now, Morza, though, is MarketSpy tactics to make sure it's working as that. I'm looking for, if you guys are interested in beta testing it, and it shouldn't be that different from Poet. It's basically the code that we lost is being brought back, but in a new shell, and so that's being worked on. But we're gonna have some public builds soon, and hopefully you guys can test drive it. And back in the day, you know, I was chilling in Dubai with OKX guys, and they were really super impressed, but they kept pushing for automated trading, and they're like, why don't you make a bot that kind of, I was like, yeah, so you guys can like get all my traders wrecked and make some money. There's not going to be any automation involved anytime soon. Maybe semi-automation, but anyways, would love to get that out there. Oh, and trading comparisons. There's this broker, Interactive Brokers, that I'm looking into to potentially support in tactics for that same experience that we have been enjoying trading crypto with Poet. And I can't believe they still don't have anything that is very simple and just like get me from point A to point B with the right size and everything. It might not be good for futures, but you know, Forex I'm talking about, it's still, they don't even have a proper calculator out there built in to help traders, like, you know, calculate their pips properly. Or it's so convoluted that you don't even, you're like, I'm not even gonna use it at this point. So I'm looking to see if I can get some of these platforms like Interactive Brokers to be a part of the experience, but we'll see. There's some hush thing right now. But the cat, meow, is out of the bag, so lots of work being done in the background. So if you guys are wondering where I'm at daily, and hey, despite all this, I'm still like, I'm the most frequent poster in our Discord. Come on. Yeah, leaves are falling. This is the best season to be out there doing some hiking, some riding, some photography. I don't know if you guys are into any of that, but I love my nature, you know, and so like to be out there by myself, just taking it all in, enjoying life while it lasts. Because I realized, you know, what am I, like, if I die, not if, but when, what am I, like, I want to be able to take, like, these scenic escapades of mine, you know, like the photography is pointless because, like, well, you should retain a lot of that here. You don't need to have photographs. You should just be out there in nature. But, like capturing a moment, looking at like the beauty of nature and the seasonality, and as there's like terrible stuff going on around the world, but like I choose not to focus on that, because what kind of memories do I want for myself when I go out? Gray buildings and fake neon lights, is that what I want to remember about this world? What about mountains, trees, trails? That's why I got into dirt bikes recently and started like off-roading and stuff, because it's just, I guess as you age a bit, you feel a connection to the earth. The earth is calling you. It sounds terrible, but it's true. The earth is calling you. And you feel connected. You're like, I'm almost there, buddy. Just give me a few more. It'll be all right. But the earth knows if you're paying attention or not. And I heard someone say, it's how you're going to release your last breath that counts, right? Is it going to be easy or difficult? Unexpected or smooth, like this price action? I don't know. But we're trying our best to not think about the bad. What is bad anyways? Think about life is all I'm going to say. Oh, man. One more cup, I promise. Tell them buy low. No, yo, El Norte. If you can do this, man. Tell them stay hydrated, never liquidated, and take a sip of water. Boom. Let them know. Oh yeah. You guys don't know. El Norte right there, that's the W saw, the original soldier, man, from day one. We used to participate in WSOD, but I was like, it's a bit too much, too hectic. So, please rewind back to all the updates about the chart. I'd love to hang out with you guys for a bit longer, but I think, yeah, I'm just gonna like let my bids get stacked. I'm gonna walk away. I'll come back at around half. Post to Discord if I have any P&L to report or anything like that, but should be a fun, interesting, bullish week ahead. So far, so good. But I do expect a little consolidation, a pullback here. And, recent pullbacks, they have been like, they pull back, but there's no demand. It's almost like as soon as price starts pulling back, traders don't want to see that. They step away from the chart. They're not buying into it. But consolidations and what follows after those consolidations, which is a decompression of that consolidation, that is something that I'm willing to be a part of and trade. And so, consolidate, run up, pause, consolidate, run up, consolidate, pause, run down is the play here. So. We're not that bullish, so I'm expecting this to pull back today, and depending on how this this plays out and where I am in terms of like my physical distance from my computer. I might short or I might long, but currently I have a stack of bid orders DCAing my way in, and we'll see. But yeah, here's one for the bears and the people who don't subscribe to great channels like Cryptopocalypse Now. Swim with the fishes, my friends. What can I say? Guys, it's been a pleasure. And thank you for tuning in, as always. And if you have any questions, please join our Discord. Do sign up for that link that I've been shilling this whole stream with Bitunix. If you're KYC, geo-locked, or anything like that, you don't have to worry about anything. With Bitunix, just sign up, make me rich. Come on, it ain't that hard. But seriously, awesome exchange. And like I said, we'll be integrating that into our terminal because it just works wherever you are. So no worries there. And I'll see you guys in our Discord and maybe see you in the stream later on, either today. I do have some time to myself today. So maybe I'll come back evening time, which will be like morning time for you. Box, have a great rest. El Morte, great day ahead. Elijah Black, thank you. CJ, all you guys, I'll see you next time. Until then, signing off. See y'all later.